Hey y'all, hey, it's Simone here, back with another hair video. So today's video is going to be on two things: how to get the perfect dark root and my updated glue routine. So I had some leftover dye from a previous hairstyle. I really want to show you guys how to make your roots darker the right way. It can get really messy and nasty and cause a lot of issues if you don't do it correct. So here's my easy method. I use a toothbrush, and then I think it's best if you do very thin sections. Get your dye, dip your toothbrush in, and now if you look from the side, that little pointy part right there shouldn't be there because it's going to leak onto the lace. You want to make sure your brush is completely, like, all the excess is wiped off. You want to hold that little piece of hair and just paint the hair. Make sure you do it from all sections underneath. You can also use your finger to smear it into the hair. That's what I do as well, or like a little scissor type of motion, and press the product into the roots of the hair. Now, be very careful. Take your time. If you are rushing or pressed for time, do not do this. Wait till you have time, because girl, once you get dye onto the lace, it's going to be hell to try to get it off, if you can even get it off. Okay, I've seen some people on Instagram or TikTok coat the inside of the wig with gel. Now, to be honest, I don't really have products to waste like that. If you just take your time and do not put a lot of product onto your brush, whether it's a toothbrush or whatever, you can avoid a mess. Now, one thing people always forget is to dye the back. You see where that weft is in the back? Make sure you paint there too, because if not, just make sure you do it. You want to make sure all the surrounding areas that are attached to the lace are colored as well. You can also use your brush at an angle. That helps as well. You can also put some product on the side. I'm using the comb to do that, so that all you have to do is just press the brush against the edges of the bowl, and it will make life a little bit faster. And then once you're done, just let it sit for 30-45 minutes. The hair was already dark, but it was a little brassy, and it was driving me nuts when I had put it onto my head. I just did a deep condition. I'm editing that video, so I'll show you guys which one I did this time. First, put your hair in a little ponytail. Use an edge control brush, or a brush period, to just brush back all stray hairs on your edges, because you want it to be nice and slick back. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and braid my ponytail and then pin it up. Make sure right here is flat. That's the only way that I can get away with doing a ponytail underneath without it looking high or having a hump. So we have this wig from UNiceHair. I love the color. I plucked the wig a little bit, and then I have makeup, foundation to color the lace, and then I'm not using a headband, so make sure the back of the wig is adjusted properly. Get a clip, a butterfly clip, or anything that can hold the hair back. Avoid using a scrunchie, just because his hair is curly and puffy. And I love the curls, actually. I wish that I would have actually plucked this beforehand, so I wouldn't have to comb off the curls, because they were fabulous. Use the scissors to cut off the parts by the top of the ears. You guys already know, if you watch my videos, we pretty much do the same routine. Every now and then I'll add something new to my routine, because things are always changing. Every wig is different, so you will find yourself kind of making your routine a little bit different every now and then. So we got the forehead exposed, the big little forehead, and we have our Ghost Bond glue. This is probably the only glue that I like. All the other ones just don't work for my skin. I don't like it. It's a mess. Okay, take your comb, make a mental note as to where you want your hairline to start at. You can see I'm doing that. What I like to do is get like a flat surface and put some glue on. And it helps me to guide and be more in control of what I'm doing versus me doing a bunch of little dots on my hairline. That usually turns into a mess. So I put a little bit on this or any flat surface, and then I use a rat tail comb or any really pointy product tool, and dab it into the glue. And again, I put my finger where the mental note was of where I wanted the hairline to stop. Now you can see there's a little bit of space between where I had my finger and my hairline. That is a good thing because you want to try as best as possible to not get the glue onto your hairline. Whoever's watching, we want our hairlines to be there when we take the glue off, okay? The goal is that this is a protective hairstyle and we are not doing things to harm our hairs underneath the wig. So, okay. Now, I don't do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 layers like how some people do. I just know, you know, in summertime. So I need my wig to be comfortable. And when I put 2, 3, 4 layers on, you know what, I'm going to say 3, 4 layers on, it's very uncomfortable. 2, I might do 2. 3 and more, no, get lost. So go ahead and put the lace onto where you had the glue. Now try not to pull too hard. When I say that, I mean like stretching the lace out too much, because when you release it, it will wrinkle and you don't want that to happen, okay? Don't press it in a lot, but you want to press it in enough, if that makes sense. So I'm going to show you guys what I mean. So I'm barely using my finger to push it in, and then I'm going to use a comb to kind of just, yes, comb back a little bit. Not me saying yes to my own movements. Sorry. Use the comb to pretty much comb it back in that direction. Don't push the lace so hard into the skin. All right, guys. That's just gonna make it a mess, and like it's gonna make it like ooze and do this weird stuff and turn white. So no, just lightly comb the hair back by adding a little bit of pressure. Now let's go ahead and do the sides. And for this part, I'm gonna go ahead and speed it up, and then when we're done with this, we'll link back. At this moment in time, it is time for us to cut the lace, ladies. Now, cut the lace however you want. I do it my way. Like, I use this little scissors, or a scissors period. It doesn't have to be this size. And I'm just doing like a zigzag motion. Ooh, that looked good. That looked real good. That lace just laid into the skin. You know what? I hate glue, but I just love how sometimes it's so much more seamless than the Gotta Be glue. And the only reason why I'm not using Gotta Be glue hairspray right now, as I mentioned to you guys before, is the fact that my skin right now, I don't know if because it's hot, because it's humid, but it ain't going with no wig. So that's why. Oh, do this little elastic band thing, because it makes a huge difference. Like, especially when you're using glue, it makes a huge difference. To get my curls to pop, I use a mixture of mousse and water, and I'm using a Denman brush to really brush out the curls, to define the curls. But this hair is actually really, the curl on this is so beautiful, okay? When it dries and gets bigger, like the hair frizz up a little bit, it actually looks really nice and like natural. This is probably one wig that I'm gonna keep and not put in a giveaway. All right, so don't hot comb the parts where you put the water and the mousse on, because it's gonna sizzle. But I use the hot comb to just like flatten down my edges and the front of my hair and the front of the wig. So take your time doing this, because ladies, it can burn. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and make the lace look a little bit more seamless, because you can see it. So I'm gonna scoop out baby hair to try to like camouflage that real quick. And take out thin pieces of hair, ladies, because you really want, take out thin pieces of hair because you really want this to look really natural. Now, I was trying to just show you guys some different looks you can do. You can do half up, half down, the 2 little pieces, or you can just wear it straight out and call it a day.